But Mike, what would you do with the car if it broke down? Well, we'd use it as a jungle gym, of course, right? Monday, so what does that make today? February 17th, potentially? Anyway, it's either the 16th or the 17th or the 15th or the 18th. And I tell you that because our wedding is not until March 7th at 9 a.m. all the way up there. And I mean, I know this is going to sound like I'm joking, but like quite seriously, like if you guys like seriously want to come, it would be nice to have another person whose native language is English. But what was interesting was when we met with the mayor and Gracie started speaking in English, and then she paused and laughed, and then she said, okay, I'm going to speak. She looked at me and she said, I'm going to speak in our dialect, right? So it would be easier for her to communicate with the mayor. And the mayor immediately said, no, everything in English, everything in English. And I am literally the only native English speaking person in the room. Now he's well educated. He's actually, his whole family is pretty much in the medical profession. He's got doctors, internists for brothers and sisters. He went to school for pharmacology, and he actually owns a pharmacy that is still operating in the town. And his brother also has a pharmacy, and he is in his second of 3 terms allowed for a mayor. And so he's coming up for re-election in May. And based on what I've heard other people describe his behavior as, this guy is a landslide for mayor. It sounds like he has greatly improved the lives of everybody here. I mean, it's not like you like set up a call center and everyone's making like 28 grand a year, but I mean, that's a little unrealistic for this location. Anyway, so this is as I was talking about before, this is the tarp that you will see, yes, laid out on a farm. But as you drive down the street, you will see this literally taking up 1/2 of the roadway. It'll be across 1 lane. And people coming in the other direction will absolutely stop. No one beeps their horn. No one gets ticked off. No one gets frustrated. And then they're like, oh yeah, they're drying rice. And so they say, good morning. They slow down. And she's probably just like, there's one of those white people talking to themselves. They're talking to their hand. And then hours later, my son shows me a picture of it on his phone. How does that even work? How does that person walk around for less than $500 carrying a television station and then bring it back to their editing bay that costs less than $1,000, hook up to internet infrastructure that can do 20 megabits per second in the middle of friggin' nowhere? How does that guy broadcast? Because let me tell you, when I was 17, or let's see, when 13, 14, and I fantasized about having my own radio station, and me and my buddy Mark, we built a studio in my basement, and we would record ourselves. We would record ourselves through the wire that went from the basement upstairs to the reel-to-reel recorder, the Akai, and we would record ourselves being DJs, playing music on the radio. And then I got a job. I got a volunteership at a college radio station, and then I got paid by that college radio station, believe it or not, to do an air shift. Because I wasn't a student. I was too young to be in college, and so technically, apparently, I couldn't volunteer. And I don't recall I ever went to the director and said, hey, listen, I'm doing this, and you got to pay me. But apparently they needed to pay me, so I made minimum wage, which at the time I believe was $3.35 an hour, doing my 4, maybe 5-hour shift. It was a jazz show initially, and then it was neat because I got to upgrade and I got to play basically what was referred to at the time, and most of the industry of radio is college radio, because that was where alternative sort of came out from. And I remember playing these bands that none of my buddies thought were cool at the time, like Echo and the Bunnymen and U2 and Extreme. I remember I actually I did an interview with Extreme, if you can believe it or not, and that was long before they had the hit More Than Words. But I also remember playing, early 80s hair bands, right? And so Mr. Big and Graham Parker and the Shot was a very college radio, the payolas, right? Some of these were like one-hit wonders. A couple of them absolutely exploded. Perhaps you've heard of The Knack. You may not know The Knack, but I can guarantee you every single person watching this video knows My Sharona. Okay, so this is the reason that there is this road here, because there are other homes here. which is very interesting. Oh, and of course, not only does my voice carries when it's on top of a 2,000-foot mountain, and there's nobody else. There's no soundproofing. This has been nice, guys. I really appreciate it if you've well, I don't appreciate it if you've watched it necessarily, but I really do hope you enjoyed it. Perhaps turning the sound down was the best way to enjoy this, and just watch me walk around and experience, well, true farming. Meaning that I guess she's probably, I don't even know how, I guess she's my niece-in-law, right? I don't know how old she is, but I'm going to say she's probably 11, 12, 13, something like that. I mean, Eurydice is 15, and she does not look like, any of you watching this in the United States, she does not look like a 15-year-old girl. She is wonderfully 15. She has some desires and goals, but she also loves to play with her little cousins and her brothers, and she plays hide and seek, and she likes BTS, and she likes Blackpink, and she impresses me with every second that ticks by, without question. If I do one thing in life, it will be to make sure that she has everything she needs and the majority of what she wants. So anyway, with that gratitude attack, I want to thank you for watching, and I want to share one final thing with you. And any of you know that I'm a technologist, right? But I'm also an electrical engineer, as some of you guys that follow me and friends of mine, you're also technically motivated and inclined and intrigued. And I certainly found it very interesting for me when I first came here, and you won't be able to see it from this side, but this is the power line that comes in, and it is absolutely correct when you use it in the singular, because it is truly the power line. It is one it is one cable that is approximately, trust me, it's not accurate, 220 volts above the potential of ground, which we will all refer to sort of as zero. But yeah, that's the black cable. And then the ground is, well, the cable that they use to wrap the other one around. And so yes, ground is brought here, but they don't necessarily use that as the other conductor. A lot of times that will just kind of bolt to the side of the house, and when you're installing outlets and switches and things in the house, you'll install one wire up to something, and then the other one it'll circle back down. But a lot of times you'll just let me just drill a hole here in the floor, and it's ground, right? And sure enough, there's your 220, right? But anyway, so with that, with that final geek out, it's Mike from LiveMyAssOff.com, because wherever you're watching this, I truly hope you're safe and happy. I hope you have a level of gratitude and appreciation for the fact that if you can watch this video and you're watching it on a camera that you're watching it on a phone or a laptop that I would argue is well north of $500, that you pause and you take account of all of the wonderful things you have in your life. Such as flush toilets and water and potentially 2-conductor power coming into your house, but also the people in your life that, well, quite frankly, make it worth living. And I hope that you obtain and welcome more people into your life as every day goes by that will add value to your life, that you get to add value to. And with that, I hope you have regular gratitude attacks that bring you to a point of tears, because you're so grateful that you get to live one more day with a new family that welcomes you like their own. And I have well more than I need, and a lot of what I want. And I hope every single one of you looks yourself in the mirror, and now or later or at some point, and says, man, I'm the luckiest guy in the world. And I hope you guys are living the dream. I'll talk to you soon. Ciao. Look, oh, cool. What kind? No eggs? No eggs? Oh, yeah, it's got an egg. What kind of bird? Do you know what kind of bird? No? Just the flying kind. Ciao. That's my father-in-law. He's awesome.